Thank you for watching Schengen News Media, and this is News Echoes on Nigerian Affairs. I'm so glad you're watching. My name is Shegun Johnson, and there are so many issues to be discussed concerning the Nigerian politics. The Nigerian president has been welcomed in Paris with a bunch of flower from a lovely young girl, and President Tinubu has retired to his abode, but is not yet found at the venue this morning. We shall be discussing Tinubu in France. Probably is waiting for tomorrow. So we'll look at that. In the meantime, we have in the studio, all the way from central London, Ambassador Nat Yakwo. Ambassador Nat, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and good morning, legends. Good morning, our listening public. Nice to be around.
From the commercial city of Nigeria is Bidi Nana in Lagos, Nigeria. Bidi, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dr. Shegu. Thanks for having me. Good morning, everyone in the studio, our viewers all around the world. Good morning. Let's do it again, like always.
Milan, Italy, we have Massive Mark. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shegun. Ambassador Nat, I'm happy to see you. And
Thank you.
BD, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, let's start with the effect of the Tinubu's policies. We are going to concentrate on just four for now. Subsidy removal, we knew how the price jumped at the filling station. Then we want to look at the effect on 7.5% VAT on the petroleum products. Before now, it's been 5%. Now it's 7.5%. Then we want to look at the students' loan as well. Is it going to pay any student at all? And finally, we want to look at devaluation of Naira. How is it going to affect, or how has it started affecting Nigerians? Nigerians are complaining at the moment. Before we allow the diasporans to make their contribution on this, Bidi, I want to ask you, you live in the city of Lagos, and we hear the complaints of the people. Now, tell us in concrete terms, since the removal of the subsidy, how much percentage that the price of transportation has gone up and the price of food?
The price of transportation has been increased by over 200%.
Wow.
Yeah. Because let me give you an instance. From Ojota to to Bruins. I just want to give you a practical example of what is happening in Lagos now.
Yes.
Used to be 200, some depend on the period, 300. But as I speak with you now, they charge 700 Naira. Yeah.
Okay.
And when
if someone wants to travel from Lagos to Enugu or Lagos to Kano?
Yeah. From Lagos to Enugu is about 35, 32, 30 something thousand. And
by road?
Yes, by road. The transport that will collect 25, 26, 27,000 Naira will be those ones that maybe probably when they get to the Benin, the car will break down. And you have to board another one. But if you need...
That 32,000 Naira, is it a return ticket?
No. Remember to board a flat from Lagos to Enugu is about 199,000 Naira now in Nigeria. That's when you book with time. And when you want to buy across the counter, it's about 130, 120, 100 Naira.
One way.
Yeah. Yes, one way, not return tickets. So
okay, let's go to food. How about food?
Everything, the fuel, the one thing you people should understand is that Nigerian economy is fuel based. Once the fuel price goes up, everything in Nigeria goes up. The only thing that doesn't go up is the wages, the salary. Everything goes up. Yes. Even now, I gave you an example the other day. Even the malam that says fruit in the market, 2 weeks ago, I bought cabbage. I normally buy cabbage, the sizable one I buy for 500 naira. Last Saturday, I went to the market. I went around the market thinking, pricing. Say, what is happening? At the end, that price that I buy 500, I bought it for 1,000. When I got home and I was telling my sister, I said it's a lie. I said, I wish I have receipt to prove this. So everything has tripled, not even doubled. The prices of things in Nigeria has tripled, not doubled. It's
Wow.
worse on transportation. And we don't have a good train system in Nigeria. So now the transportation has increased. It's the triple effect comes on commodity. Because if I have to go and buy things and I have to pay heavily to transport those things I bought to where I'll dispose it, I have to input the cost of my transportation on those things that I bought. So
Yes.
it increases the cost of commodity. Everything
Okay.
is, things are very, very getting
Okay.
higher in Nigeria today.
Thank you for giving us a vivid explanation. Ambassador Nat, it appears that the administration of Tinubu will say something before they think about it. Like, for example, the subsidy removal. They did not wait for the palliatives to be in place. They did not do anything. Just by one stroke, the subsidy removal just came, and even though it's supposed to kick in at the end of the month, they never waited. That is at the end of June, but they never waited, and the people are suffering. How will you assess Tinubu's administration so far concerning the policies and the effect on the people? Why are the people not reaping from these policies?
Thank you very much, Dr. Johnson. You see, I think the main problem for now is policies are announced without wide, wide consultation, and the policies are not well articulated. And one man, because he wants to impress himself and impress Nigerians, we just start talking without knowing the implication of talking. If you listen to his announcement on the day of inauguration, the way he announced those words, subsidy gone, it's like he was jittery. He wasn't comfortable in saying the words, and he has a problem with speech. He has problem with communication. Experts say that uh, for the first time in Nigerian history, we have a president who was not able to pronounce 100 words in 1 minute. He pronounced 67, and people lost touch with him right from there. They didn't even know what he was talking about. So that is the problem. What we are now facing with the issue of subsidy removal, subsidy removal is definitely is affecting already the economy. The next day that subsidy was removed or announced, the petrol queues were back in every part of the country, and they were selling at 500 to 600 naira per liter. And they're now talking about palliatives, which the palliatives that will not get to those who really need it. We know the experience we had in the Buhari regime, where palliatives were being used as souvenirs, where they were used as political tools. And so he needs to rejig his committee on policy, strategy, and other ways of communicating with the public, especially when it has to deal with the whole country of 200 million people of
And,
Nigeria.
and based on what you've just said, not thinking things through before he says anything, how do you think the devaluation of Naira has affected the macro economy of Nigeria?
Well, even before Buhari's last day in government, the naira was just sliding downwards, and it seems nobody was in control. Nobody was able to help the naira to appreciate. But with the merger of both the official exchange rate and the black market, which is going to around $760 to and
760
760
naira.
naira to the dollar, we don't know what whether the economy will be able to appreciate and look upwards. But definitely we are still in the doldrums. We are still having a serious problem. And the government is not saying there is no money. Nigeria is broke. We don't have money. There is no money. Our crude oil is still being stolen almost every day, and the 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 Bakassi boys, not the Bakassi boys, the boys in the Niger Delta, Dokubo and Co. They are still, stealing the oil. That is the long and short of it. And Nigeria be a mono economy. We don't have any other means of earning foreign exchange. We are still very, very much in a mess.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Mark in Milan, it appears that Nigerians don't understand modern economy. When the Nigerian Naira was made to float and it has depreciated to 988 Naira to £1, and I'm talking as of yesterday. If you put down £1,000 in London, send it to Nigeria, they will give you 1 million Naira less 12,000 Naira. The implication of that is that for the factory owners in Nigeria who depend on imported raw materials, it means that they are going to pay a lot more to import their raw materials, which means the price of commodities will increase, which means demand of those commodities will go down. As the prices go up, demand goes down, and the people will be laid off because nobody is buying the products. And so unemployment will increase just by the devaluation of the Naira. And nobody appears to be saying anything in Nigeria. The foreign investors say, yes, we love this devaluation. In fact, JP Morgan, we are told, said, yes, it's going to be good. But their own interests, nobody is thinking of the interests of the masses. Massive.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Shegun. BD gave us a clue of what it is. When there is that fuel, this removal of the fuel subsidy, it exacerbates every other thing. So poverty is coming into Nigeria because President Bola Tinubu's decision to remove fuel subsidy has left millions of Nigerians terrified, and the knock-off effect has begun to take place in their lives. Many are also concerned about what some other after effect will be like in terms of healthcare, education, and food. It's a problem, Dr. Shegun. The Naira devaluating is, in fact, that's minor to more other problems that we are seeing from what we are studying. Even though, like you said, some people are saying that Naira devaluing is a good option for us. But Dr. Shegun, Nigeria authority and the government need to put a lot of things in place to protect the lives of the people that are mostly affected by this removal of the fuel subsidy. And the government needs to make sure they look into the nitty-gritty of this whole thing, or else it will amount to widespread hunger, higher unemployment, and like you said, the standard of living will collapse. So we are in for some ride. There's a situation that is brewing. People are not seeing it. People are only carried away with the frenzy of a new government, like we said last time. And this frenzy might not last for too long because already there are complications now. So
now, thank you very
will
much.
pay the price if we don't take time.
We have a problem of governance that we have identified in the Tinubu administration. and the problem is balancing the federal character. If we look at Lagos, where Tinubu is known as a semi-god, it appears that the government in Lagos is putting the fire on the non-indigens, especially those from the southeastern part. And let's try and look at facts and figures, not wasting time. Dokubo Asari went to Aso Rock and shook hands with President Tinubu openly, and from there went to take a seat under the coat of arms of Nigeria and degraded and berated the Nigerian military service. These service chiefs, 24 hours after, were removed, and Dokubo continues to berate the Igbos. I mean, on video, it's not something they were. So people have been asking, what game is the Tinubu administration playing? Permitting someone who said he had his own army, permitting someone who said because of his boys, people could now travel from Kaduna to Abuja and vice versa, and that it was not the Nigerian security system that made that road safe, but his boys, and some of his boys died. And he said the Nigerian army and the Nigerian naval staff were the ones stealing oil. He was saying all of this in the house of the commander-in-chief. And subsequently, within hours, they were all removed. And people were asking, who exactly is running Nigeria? As a student of political science, and I studied political behavior to a very great extent, the question we always ask ourselves is, who governs? Many books have been written on who governs. So we want to see who governs in Nigeria. Is it MC Uluomo in Lagos or Dokubo Asari from Asaro, who was given the unexpected position in the villa under the coat of arms to desecrate and denigrate and degrade the Nigerian military outfit? Let me start with Ambassador Nad, because you are conversant with all of this.
Well, some of these things happening in the past 2 weeks in President Tinubu's government is unprecedented. It beats one's imagination. The way he's going about doing things, especially the Dokubo thing. You don't bring to the limelight somebody who has known to have been involved in so many criminal activities, especially in the Niger Delta area, and especially even this crude oil too. Dokubo also has been involved in stealing our oil. For him to turn around to say 90 something percent is being stolen by the military and the naval officers. I think he was just telling the world too that, and he is involved. And for the president left his office, came out and appeared with the cameras with Dokubo. It's a laughing stock. It's ridicule, and I think Tinubu should be more serious. In as we know that he's trying to uh, bring on board everybody, but it's not just everybody that we allowed to make such statements in the press center of the villa, where the world press and all other people were there listening and analyzing. And Tinubu needs to sit up when it comes.
Let me quickly ask you one question. How do you think the military feel?
No.
Of course, the Navy said he should mention those names of the naval officers. Apart from that, there was a test statement. They're not talking. It appears that they were badly beaten, brutalized, and they're not talking. But we understand that behind the scene they are grumbling. Are you hearing anything at all?
No, the military has come out to condemn Dokubo's statement and to say that if he has made that statement, he should bring the list of names of top military officers and the naval officers. The military have responded, and we have not heard anything from Asari Dokubo.
Bidi, Dokubo continues to berate the Igbos, and he said they are nothing, that is going to fire them. We have the videos. Why is Dokubo anti-Igbo, anti-Kanu? What game is he playing?
And one of those things can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
He has a lot to gain, and one of those things he will gain is what he's achieving. Now, I want to start from Ambassador Nat. He said Tinubu action is unprecedented. For any Nigerian to say that Tinubu action is unprecedented, meaning that we are not looking in the direction we need to look. There's nothing Tinubu is doing now. Too, if you ask me, Tinubu is just testing the water. He has not even started. Now, when it comes to Asari, if we tell ourselves the truth here as Nigerians, we know how Tinubu get to power. He used people like Asari to get to power. He used people like Omsiolomo, Baya Nonogadem, so many of those people. And if you look at the kind of rulership Tinubu is giving to Nigeria now, is government of compensation. Now, a few years ago, Nigerians said they wanted a change. And what is the meaning of change? The meaning of change means that the previous government is not doing well. So we expect you to come and do well. Now, you can't come and you're doing something and you keep making references to what your predecessor did. You should up your game and do better. Now, what Tinubu is doing is government of compensation. So him allowing Asari Dokubo to come and sit. Asari is not an elected officer. He's not holding any position. He's not body in Nigeria. He come and sit under the Nigerian coat of arms. It is a slap to every Nigerian. It is a disgrace to every Nigerian. And open his mouth and say everything he wants to say. Now, talking about anti-Igbo. Anti-Dokubo could be comfortable to be anti-Igbo because Tinubu himself is anti-Igbo. Sorry, and maybe I have to say it this way. Because he is anti-Igbo. Now, if like he said earlier, what is happening in Lagos State is not a new thing, but I'm beginning to think that we no longer run a federal system of government in Nigeria. Maybe probably what we run now is a unitary system of government because the way Igbos are being treated in Nigeria, in Lagos, to be precise, now Asari is bringing his own because Tinubu himself has something against the Igbo. That is why Asari can be comfortable to say a lot. Now, look at Asari. Asari is an ex-convict. Asari has his own army. Asari has caused a lot of problems. One of the problems that is River State, Niger Delta is having today, Asari started it. And now he comes, sits under the Nigerian coat of arms and said that Nnamdi Kanu, that the court has been ruled to be released, should not be released. As what? On what authority is Asari speaking? Do you understand? Now, he was comfortable to speak it under the Nigerian coat of arms because Tinubu shared the same vision, anti-Igbo. That is why Asari could sit there and be addressing the media. Now, my question is Asari addressing Nigerian media now as what? You're not elected, You're not appointed, and you sit there, you say it, and people are keeping quiet. Most mainstream media do not carry such news because it's Igbos. Now, in Lagos State, you see what the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, is doing to Igbos. A lot of Igbos' own property has been marked repossessed. And after making repossessed, they will go on destroying them. And their government, you can't question them. They always have an excuse to come up why they are destroying it. And a lot of Nigerians are keeping quiet as if nothing is happening because it's Igbos. As if making these people look like they are not part of Nigeria. I mean, I don't have a problem with this. The problem I have here is this. You can't allow the Igbos have a place in Nigeria. And these are people who say they want to leave. And you said they will not leave. Still, allow them to be part of Nigeria. You wouldn't allow them to be part of Nigeria. Who treats human beings like that?
Okay, let me ask Massive Mark. Mark, these are not the best times for the Igbos, especially in Lagos. It appears that Governor Sanwo-Olu practically hates the Igbos. He has intervened in private organizations that the Igbos should not hold positions of honor. He has been allegedly said that he's destroying the Alaba market, the other properties where the Igbos thrive. It appears Sanwo-Olu is very angry that the city boy lost in Lagos. But maybe you have a different view. What I know is that the Schengen news media has been receiving news from Lagos, the destruction of properties of the Igbos. But I'm not sure whether it's the Igbos alone or other Nigerians in Lagos. What have we been receiving?
Yes, one thing we should note is in the southwest, if you're fair color and you don't speak Yoruba very well, you're considered Igbo south from the southeast.
Even if you are from Cross River.
Yeah, so people from Cross River, people from Benue, people from Jos, Nasarawa, all of these places are also been affected. But is targeted more on the entrepreneurial set of the Igbos. Their shops, their storage, their places of endeavors are being affected. So what we saw yesterday is they are going about street by street. It's not just the Alaba thing now. They are going on other local government areas and stamping notice of demolition of the property that have been used for years, that have been running for years. These are properties that were not just gotten. Some of the owners, the traders said they've had it for 12 years, 15, 17, 20 years now. But they will be taken down, and we all know what it is. It's a reprisal because of what happened on February 25th, the presidential election and the election. So it's a serious thing, Dr. Shegun. We have lots and lots, but many of the clips we have are in Igbo dialect. So it's hard for people non-Igbo to understand some of what has been said. But there's a strong witch hunting, and the Igbos are suffering. Now, in every of these community, there is an Igbo head, an Igbo chief that represents each of these community for the Igbos. Now, what those chiefs are saying is they don't even give them notice. The Lagos state government don't even come to dialogue with them or give a notice. They just come on a certain day and take down the property. Then they begin to make those excuses. It's on default line. It's blah, 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 and all that. So it's a serious issue, Dr. Shegun.
It appears is a continuation of Buhari's policy towards the Igbos. You remember his famous quotation, how can I support 5% of my voters as against 95%, which he made in the United States. You recall that statement, famous statement.
Yes, and he called them a dot in the circle. A dot in the circle. So it's sad this is happening to this tribe. But,
it's a continuation of Buhari's policy. You remember, Tinubu told us that he's going to continue from where Buhari stopped. And now, Buhari policies made it easier for Tinubu. Tinubu have been having things against the Igbos. Now, Buhari has started it, and Tinubu is now about to finish it. Now, let me tell you, the thing is that they don't know about the 2025 February election in Lagos, that their target is just on the Igbos. It's not only the Igbos that voted against Tinubu. Even the Lagosians, even the owners of Lagos State voted against Tinubu. But because those people are no-go areas, so they are not transferring the anger on the Igbos. Do you understand? Now, what Massive Mike said, the system is this. They'll just wake up one day and go to a particular place. There's a particular area in Surulere now. If you know Mashia, you know Kilo, you know towards Aguda. In that area is Igbo's area. The Igbo has bought virtually all the properties there, and all those places has been repossessed by Lagos state government. They've repossessed. And you know what Oba of Surulere said there? He now said that they should come and pay 10 million naira. Do you understand? And when you pay 10 million naira, or the other group you have to settle, he said, even if you don't want to pay, you go to Alausa, then they will still demolish your house. Now, the thing is this. The state government has marked these buildings to be possessed. I ask people, why pay 10 million naira?
For nothing.
For nothing. Because if you pay that 10 million naira for this government, if they don't demolish it today, they will demolish it tomorrow, or they will demolish it next year.
Absolutely.
So the best thing is that don't even pay. Just patch there as long as you can remain there, and until when they come and demolish it, then you can use your 10 million naira and get a shelter somewhere else.
That's
my
correct.
problem with what is happening in Lagos is not just about Lagos. My problem about what is happening in Lagos is see, it's not just, you see, when during the election, MC Olomo made a threat to Igbos, and he made due to it. Today, at a time, Nigerian police came and said, what did the Nigerian police say? That MC Olomo is just joking. That was what Nigerian police said.
This matter will be settled one way or the other.
Give me 1 minute, please. He said, now another Oro, the one Oro is a man of God, came and said Igbo should leave Lagos. He gave them 1 week to leave Lagos. Nobody arrested that guy.
What's his name?
The Kwame Oro is there. I could send you his video. I have his video. Nobody arrested him. Before Bayo Anonoga came and said it. And all these things they are saying, they are making do of it in Lagos. And Nigeria as a country is not saying anything. No one is saying anything. You will not see this thing being discussed in mainstream media in Nigeria. No, because it's the Igbos. Do you understand?
Okay.
And they're getting away with it.
Yeah.
Now,
we will give it oxygen. Don't worry. We will give it oxygen.
They said they have been
until everybody is talking about it in Nigeria. It is wrong. Every Nigerian has a right to live peacefully in any part of Nigeria. We'll go on a short break. When we return, the service chiefs have been removed. New ones have been installed. Some people have been arrested, and some tongues are wagging. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe nsala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in South Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman's soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
Thank you for staying with us. We still give you news from Nigeria and analysis thereof. Ambassador Nat, the service chiefs have been sacked and they have been replaced. Can you give us a rundown of these service chiefs and their importance, how that policy has been popular with Nigerian masses, especially we saw the dancing at the police federal level. So the policemen appear to be very happy that their last IG had been taken away. Tell us more with these new service chiefs.
Well, what you have on the screen are the old men, men of yesterday. We now have a brand new set of chief of defense staff, the chief of air staff, chief of naval staff, a new inspector general of police, and a new officer for intelligence. This set of people seems to have been tested and they have performed very, very well, especially Major General Christopher Musa, who has been heading the Northeast Operation Hakandole. He's performed very well. The IG Egbetokun was one time even ADC to Tinubu when Tinubu was governor of Lagos State. Egbetokun has served as commissioner of police in Lagos, and he has performed very well. And other officers that have been appointed, especially we are happy to have on board the chief of naval staff who coming from the southeast geopolitical zones, and I think that is a well-deserved appointment. But we are now looking forward to see, especially when we have people like Nuhu Rubadu as the NSA, National Security Advisor, and really, if we look at his level of experience, on the personal observation, Nuhu Rubadu has really not occupied any sensitive and high responsibility position as others. It was the Okuta panel that threw him up into limelight. I think the highest he has held position in the police was a DPO somewhere in Agege or so. And from DPO, an area commander, he just shot up to being commissioner of police and retired as a deputy AIG in the police. And now he's the chief, he's now the national security advisor.
But he was thought to be efficient as the head of EFCC at one time.
Yeah, but EFCC at one time was more of a police duty and some level of intelligence work and criminal intelligence. Apart from that, it was also the politics. It was a fallout of the Puta panel performance, and that gave him that job. And the Agabi, who was one time Minister of Justice, was very close to Nuhu Rubadu. I know
Many people are saying that these appointments are not Fulani concentrated or Hausa concentrated, that this is a milestone better than that of Buhari.
Well, we don't have the details yet, but you have this. It looks like this time around now, the Southwest are laughing. They are more than well represented. The Southwest.
I think they only have two, isn't it?
What do you say, please?
They have two. Egbetokun, the acting Inspector General of Police, and the other guy, I think, Defense.
Yes, but if you look at the appointment made so far, it is skewed towards the southwest.
Well, that's good to discuss. Let's leave that one. I welcome Dr. Ibe, all the way from Moscow, Russia. You're welcome to the program.
So much for having me. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in.
We're looking at the appointments of Tinubu so far, and this statement that Ambassador Nat said has been flying all over the place, that this has been skewed to the West. But some others have said the Southeast has got a chief of naval staff, I believe, and that other parts of Nigeria are getting. But what are your views, Dr. Ibe?
Yes, well, I think, to be fair, it's not only skewed to the Southwest. I think there was also Northwest. Yeah, I think appearing twice, right? Is it Northeast or Northwest? Appearing twice as well. So it's skewed towards the Northeast and also Southwest. I think it could be better, but considering the fact that well, we have more chief of staffs than geopolitical zones. So somebody anyway is going to have two twice. So a zone is going to appear twice in any case. You cannot distribute it evenly. Yeah. And also, we also have to consider the fact that while we want representation, competence should be the focus of what we are discussing. I don't see that being discussed. Yeah. A lot of people are saying, where is representation? Where is representation? So it's still tribalism. Whether you're coming from a representation aspect and you're excluding competence, you're excluding experience, then you're not different from a tribalist. Because you are saying that someone should be put there even though he's not qualified, simply because he comes from your particular region, a region which you prefer. That is another form of tribalism. But the focus should be on competence.
Let me help you. Godwin, let me help you. It's not a matter of tribalism. It's how the country has been structured. There's something called federal character.
I am not blaming anyone now. I haven't personally blamed.
Let me help you. Let me help you. You see, the federal character was federally instituted inside Nigeria. So
yes, but I'm not speaking about that. I already supported that. That's not what I'm talking about. Now you've understood it a little bit wrongly. I'm saying the focus should be on competence. That means even when you're selecting from a particular geopolitical zone, you have to pick the most competent and say why. At least give some reason why you pick. For example, do you think there's only one person in Southeast for the job? Do you think there's only one person in Northeast for the job?
What we should say is Nigeria should stop that federal character condition in all of his appointments.
No. You need to include federal character. Wait, just a minute. No, that's not what I'm saying. Please understand it clearly. You need to include federal character. That's fine. But competence should be the basis for your selection, while you also incorporate the federal character.
That's what is happening. It is the best from...
But people aren't discussing it. For so many people that have discussed it, they are fine as long as their person is there. Many people have discussed it. They don't ask... If you ask them, what is this security chief known for? What has he achieved? They don't know. They don't know nothing about what he has achieved. What is his career? What is experience? They know absolutely nothing. They are only focused on the geopolitical zone, and that exactly is another form of tribalism, because you have not considered what makes the person fit for the job, what kind of experience the person have. You also need to include that while you're also talking. So a lot of there's very few discussion on competence and experience, and that is what I want to point. That's what I want to point viewers to.
Platforms like this should talk more on the structure of that so-called federal character, because what happens with the federal character thing is they look for each of these appointments. There are regions that personnel or administrator must come from.
Mind you, the opportunity cost for picking the wrong person is not only that he has cheated another geopolitical zone. He has already also cheated another more experienced person in his own geopolitical zone. And the cost effect has ramifications for the whole of Nigeria, because we are speaking about we're speaking about national security, we are speaking about the army or the navy. We need competent people. So it has ramifications that affect every single citizen, especially in a situation, period where we have terrorism problems and we have a little bit of suspicion to the
But
global geopolitical powers.
Take note. Sorry, Dr. Shagun. I'm only trying to engage him. Take
Yeah,
note, Dr.
our listeners and viewers are watching. So go on.
Yes, sir. Take note, Dr. Godwin, that every government comes with his own baggage, his people, his alliances, his affiliates, supporters. So this is not the first time. Tinubu is just doing what has been done in every other regime. He has to bring in. These are people he trusted. These are people he has built along the line of his political career. These are people he trusts also. You know, it's about trust. You can't put somebody there that doesn't trust you, that doesn't respect or honor you. So you have to put your own person there you're sure of. You're not waking up one morning and something else is happening in that office. So this is it. This is how Nigeria is. It's sad. But
sorry. Let me just make a last statement on concerning that. We have to separate speculation from fact. We know for a fact that Tinubu has soft skills and works with his people and places people in important position. I'm not saying this as a Christian. I'm saying this as a fact. And it can be seen in a good way or in a bad way. Now, speculation about him just trust being the most important reason why he picked down is a little bit of speculation. But what I can say is that when you are the right thing to do is not necessary that the person is your own person. You only have to have trust in his services. You have to have confidence in his ability to deliver those services for which he hired you, irrespective of whether he's your person or not your person. Because if it's your person that becomes so important, then that clearly is nepotism, and that is clearly what we do not want. But right now, we do not have enough fact to say that. I don't know about you. I personally do not have enough fact to say that the people we have chosen are incompetent, and it was only due to personal reasons that they were selected. I do not have enough evidence for that. But of course, if that is true, yeah, okay, you will have your turn to speak. But yeah, but if it's done based on just my personal person, then that of course is not right.
Dr. Ibe, what I know about this appointment is basically it's not just a Tinubu thing. It has been a Nigerian thing, and that is what we've wanted to change in Nigeria. They appoint by loyalty, someone who will be loyal to them. They don't. I'm not looking at somebody who is competent. That is not what they're. Their first interest is loyalty. They want to appoint someone who is loyal to them, who will do their bids. That's why.
As against loyal to Nigeria.
Yes, exactly. And Buhari did it. Buhari even went more. Maybe Tinubu had Southeast and North. Buhari own was purely North cabinet. He did it. So it has been a system in Nigeria. So Tinubu is not just starting it. It's not a new thing. But what Nigerians need is to do something that's of Nigerians' interest, not of the leader, not of the party, not of your friend's interest. And that is what we have been doing in Nigeria. It's obvious that Nigeria as a country has not really embraced the value of democracy. That's just it. So
okay, we'll just have to move on. Thank you for your contributions. I'm sure our viewers and listeners, they are being enriched by this discussion. Ambassador Nat, the former governor of CBN has been arrested and not prosecuted. The former FCC chairman has been arrested and has been replaced by Akeem Odumosu. What is your take on all these arrests by the Tinubu administration so far? And what do you think people are saying behind? How could an ex-drug baron be arresting those who were allegedly been doing some possibly wrong things? How does it fit in the scheme of law and morality?
Well, let's start with the former governor of the central bank, though we are told he's on suspension. But in Nigeria, if you are suspended, just forget about coming back to your office.
Why did they use the word suspend anyway? Why couldn't they just say he's sacked? I mean, Sanusi Lamido was sacked, he wasn't suspended.
No, Lamido was suspended initially
Oh,
before he was sacked.
it was Ganduje that sacked him immediately.
But
Okay.
we knew, you see, Mefele knew that eventually he will have to go because Yarufai, even before the elections, Yarufai said that if APC wins and Tinubu is president of Nigeria, they were going to remove Mefele. And again, you don't just remove the governor of the central bank. The act setting up the central bank says the central bank governor can only be removed by 2/3 majority of the National Assembly, especially the Senate. But I don't think Omefele's case has gone to the National Assembly. Omefele's case is more of a vendetta, a revenge action, and we all know that Omefele also was interested in becoming the president of Nigeria. He bought farms, he bought vehicles, and so many other things. And he had Buhari's backing for all some of the actions he was taking. But what we are saying, rule of law must prevail. Even if Emefiele stole the whole money Nigeria has, there are rules and regulations. There's a procedure of removing the governor of the central bank, and he shouldn't be treated like a common criminal. The way he was arrested in Lagos, bungled him into a private jet. I think they even changed his dressing. You see the dressing he was wearing. I don't think that is a
Necessary.
MFLS clothes. It must have been the DSS clothes. So in the case of Bawa, the former EFCC DG, there were so many allegations against him. You remember Matawali, the former governor of Zamfara State, said Bawa asked for $2 million bribe, but Matawali refused to give him the money. Now we may tend to believe that what the former governor said could be true. Now that Bawa has been suspended for so many other allegations. But at the end of the day, what we are saying, rule of law must prevail. We should apply equally the rules.
Ambassador Nat, before I allow you to go, you are
Yes.
conversant with these people closely, at least in knowledge. The former leaders or the former chairman of EFCC, they've always been in trouble, including that Mrs. All of them have been removed. You remember Bawa, you remember Magu, you remember Nuri Badu. All of them have been disgraced from that office. Tell us more.
Well, because by virtue of the appointing authority, people who are appointed, people like Nuhuru Badu,
Was appointed by Obasanjo.
yes, and he probed Obasanjo and he said he found Obasanjo guilty of some infractions, though never mentioned. The Farida, who also became
Mrs. Farida, yes, she too was.
Farida had running battle with Jonathan, and she was shown the door. Same thing, Lamrode. Lamrode came in, who used to be with the EFCC, but he also was thrown out. But what is happening, the long and short, is that the president comes in and he's not comfortable with any EFCC chairman. He finds a way of removing them.
So we
Up
can
to today,
then say that
Magu.
Akim Odumosu is a Tinubu man, isn't he?
Well, but we are not even sure yet of Odumosu's appointment. We are hearing maybe from the grapevine or the marketplace, so we don't have a
He has to be
confirmed
approved by the Senate. Bidi, you wanted to say something?
Dr. Shegu. say, I don't even have much to say. You know why? Because what Tinubu is saying has been the order of the way our leaders do things in Nigeria. You know why I said I don't want anything to say? Yesterday, 2 days ago, and yesterday, I sampled the opinions of Nigerians, and they were like, "It's the normal thing." Do you understand? Nigerians are not saying it to be anything. They said that, we have a way of repeating things. Buhari did it, so why won't he do it? Do you want him to surround himself with his enemies? One was even telling me that people worked for him to get there, so he needs to compensate them. So it's not about him working for Nigerian. It's about him using his office to compensate for people who worked for him to get there. So the
Yeah.
appointment is now based on, and like I said earlier, it's based on loyalty. It's not based on what Nigerians will benefit. They don't care about you. They don't care about your well-being. Their
Okay.
most interest is on the people who help them get there. And that is how
We're
appointment is
waiting
going.
for the 100 days to be able to properly assess Tinubu's
But
administration.
Nigerians are already carried away with his actions. Then I'm telling you, Nigerians are
But
already
not
carried
people
away.
And
who are filling
that's
their tanks for
that's a
60,000, not
very
people who are traveling by road to Enugu for
that's a very
34,000. I'm
that's
not
a
sure they are.
very that's a
They're
very
not they're not reasoning like that. Now I was asking somebody, now you're jubilating that Tinubu is making policies, is sacking people, and what is those appointments, what is the real
What
effect
has
in
it
your
brought to
own
your table?
personal life? What is it in your
I,
personal
I,
life? How has
before
it
our
affected
time
your life
runs out, I
positively?
want to ask Dr. Ibe and Massive Mark, the proceedings in Abuja, the Presidential Tribunal proceedings, how do you copy them? Dr. Ibe.
Oh, I wanted to give my massive mark. Okay. From what I'm hearing, I think one major development is the fact that Amazon Web Services has said there was no crash on the election day. There was no
There was no
glitch.
glitch.
That is on its own supposed to be a deal breaker, but as we know the way things are in Nigeria, it's not going to be any deal breaker. It's going to be tossed out just like the others on technicalities. But we can say that it's pleasing to hear that uh, in a way that Amazon Web Services was able to provide a glitch-free election. So it means in the future, if there's no, as we call it, mago, we might be able to have a free and fair election in the future because there's already currently the infrastructure to take care of election on such a massive scale that
that
involves
is
200
So,
million
Mark, how
people.
do you copy that?
that is if Dr. Godwin, that is if INEC would want to use their services again, because if they are coming out to expose them like this, an enmity has been created. Yes, Amazon Web Services Incorporated said there was no glitch on that day, 25th of April, that their machines run. They say it's a competent company. It's an organization that stands very strong. They service 33 regions of the world: America, South America, Asia, Oceania, Europe. So that
So they
one
have
day,
their pride to
yes,
maintain.
one day's glitch will cost them so much. So they don't go in for that. So they put it straight to the face of INEC that they were lying. It's nothing from their own end. Now, one of the things on that election tribunal is that LP, Labour Party, is accusing INEC again of frustrating the case by withholding documents they've requested for a lot of documents that are evidence towards the case. INEC is not releasing them. So LP is considering, they are still considering it anyway, that they might halt the petition because they can't have access to all those documents. So that's
Okay.
what we're seeing with the election tribunal.
Well,
Thank
what we can inform our viewers is that we will bring more of this on Friday, and we'll look at also international issues, especially the Paris conference going on with Macron. Is it even the best for African leaders to be going to Paris to determine their future? But if it will bring investment, if it's not going to be a neo-colonial issue, we'll discuss all of this on Friday. It's my duty to thank you all from the commercial city of Lagos, BD Nana from Moscow, Russia, Dr. Ibe, Massive Mark, and of course, my fellow sojourner in London, Ambassador Nat. Until Friday, may God bless you all.
Thank you.
I love you.